video, we will review how the enterprise CEMEX, the enterprise that produces building material, became the world's largest building material supplier in the world. We will see how it became, which acquisitions it did, and well, what events or what things were happening in the world at that time, at the right time where well, the event took place. So let's start. In 1982, where Miguel de la Madrid was president in Mexico, it had a really bad administration because it had a model that was focused not to open markets globally, but to the nation just itself. And well, this affected the foreign investments because well, as it wasn't like open wide openly yet to the world. Mexico just had you know, its value chain was just limited within the boundaries of Mexico. But after learning what all happened, this kind of business model, nationally focused on just our country, devaluation of the Mexican peso uh, went extremely high, and politicians were right now were like in doubt of this model, and they choose to open their markets in the 90s, practically when well NAFTA took place on America, and a lot of agreements also took place like after NAFTA. The first expansion of CEMEX was in Spain, buying two enterprises that were in the same item as CEMEX was. But why did CEMEX went to Spain and bought these two enterprises? Well, because this wasn't not an opportunity, but it was the only choice CEMEX had in order to keep the first place in its in its item and in its market. So for this reason, CEMEX started to went abroad by buying other companies, well, acquiring other companies. Its main competitor was Apasco, that was also in Mexico. This Mexican company was pumped with money from other company that was focused on investments from other countries. Well, this company was Swiss, and well, this Swiss company was giving a lot of money to Apasco, so that was the reason why it was like growing in an accelerating way. And well, CEMEX did nothing at that time. We have done nothing at that time. CEMEX will be like not the monster it is today. The acquisition of those two enterprises that were in Spain were so simple because the cultural ties were already already similar to those to the Mexican ones, the Spain to the Mexican ones, and that led CEMEX to operate more efficiently. Then it continued to Colombia, Venezuela, and the Caribbean. All these processes that CEMEX was doing was called the post-merger integration, known as the CEMEX way. The CEMEX way consisted of soaking up the process of the enterprises CEMEX was acquiring, and they turned into like a mixed process of doing business within the administration, the factory, and well, the 20% that was left remained untouched, but the 80% was like modified, was like reconstructed, and well, that was what we called the CEMEX way. In the late 90s, CEMEX was dealing with acquainting a certain enterprise that was a little bit difficult for them to, well, to purchase because it was ubicated in the UK. This enterprise was a little bit hard to operate with because it had a total different infrastructure, a total different uh, way of working, way of organizing, and well, they had totally different, you know, working cultures. So CEMEX took a really hard time by dealing with this, but in the end, as with the other companies, it succeeded to incorporate it into the CEMEX way, and well, to helped CEMEX to be bigger. And well, finally, by 2007, CEMEX became what we know it today as the world's largest supplier of building material in the world. He became, I'm sorry, CEMEX became like this by acquiring the Rinker Corporation in Australia with a 15 billion takeover. So, well, by doing this, CEMEX took a really huge step, and well, the company was doing well. They had more revenue ever at that time, and well, this was like the the highest point that CEMEX reached ever. Because well, one 1 year later, the recession will take place all over the world, and well, this company, as it has like uh, as it's in the construction field, the world recession really affected this section of the market. So by 2008, he lost Cemex lost almost it's half of revenue, and since then, well, it has been really hard for Cemex to achieve again what it did in 2007. So that is the story of how Cemex became at a particular time the world's largest building material supplier ever. Thank you for watching.